Excellent!
Welcome everyone to week 6 of my home remodel video series. Current status. The global pandemic is raging on. I have been trying to get some video production done on the weekends, and during the week I've been watching my daughter Hannah. My wife is working from home. The dogs seem pretty happy to have us here all the time, but fortunately work has continued. Construction workers are currently considered essential workers, so they have a pass on the statewide lockdown here in California to continue doing work. Of course, if the contractors who our general contractor is hiring get sick, then they can't come and do work, and that's part of the reason why we have been delayed. Fortunately though, with the approval of our contractor and following the strictest safety guidelines that we can when it comes to non-transmission of virus, such as wiping down doorknobs and surfaces and everything like that, having plenty of hand sanitizer on hand to constantly sanitize the hands, some things can be moved forward with. Now, the work that was done this morning, if you'll permit me, I am not going to be showing details on. Suffice it to say that that's not completed and we can move on to the next steps. So tomorrow, countertops are gonna go in, and then we're talking about finished plumbing work and electrical work potentially later in the week. If we can get a functional kitchen sink here, oh my gosh, that will be a game changer for us being stuck here at home with the COVID-19 stuff going on. Speaking of COVID-19 and essential workers though, I wanted to say a huge thank you to any of you guys who are considered essential workers, whether you're in the medical field, of course, or if you're doing food service or just logistics to keep the entire system up and running so people can still get food and necessities while we're dealing with this entire situation. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you. It's given me definitely a new appreciation for the work that you guys do, so keep it up and stay safe out there. Now, as for the work for the rest of the week, again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself because at the beginning of the last video, I was like, hey, it's gonna be week 4 and week 5 and all this stuff is gonna happen, and then we went into lockdown and stuff did not proceed as planned. For today though, I have a pretty simple project, and if it's not been made clear already, we are getting pretty tired of only having any working water in the back of the house. I can't get us a sink up and running, but I can get the water connected to the fridge. After donning my biohazard suit this morning, I took a quick trip to Ace Hardware to get some essential equipment to provide us with water, which is essential. And it's one of Hannah's little crunchy bites there. There's different ways to do this though, and I think this is the most optimal way. It's also the most cost-effective way. All this stuff here cost me $6.50. So the fridge is over there right now, and I want to move it over here where it's supposed to be. Of course, I can't just go and plug it in yet until the electrical gets finished, because like this isn't an actual working outlet yet. But down here we do have the supply line for the water and the ice maker, and it does have a shutoff built in, and it's already got a little 1/4 inch threaded standard connector on there. So once I connect it up, I can turn this on and water should come out. So this was what was already attached, and this is a little 1/4 inch threaded cap, and then this, which is I believe called a ferrule technically, or you can just call it a sleeve. If you've ever done water cooling with this computer, then this was probably somewhat familiar with you. You just put the fitting on there, and then you thread the ferrule on there, and then you can tighten that down to your connector, and it should be fairly secure. However, this is actually made for copper tubing, and we don't want to use the metal on the plastic here because it can bite into it. So that is why we got this little kit from Ace Hardware, which is an insert and a sleeve. So the insert goes in like that to keep your line here from collapsing. Then your sleeve goes on like that, and then you push that up against the connector, and then you tighten it down with that. I got about 5 feet of the 1/4 inch tubing here, and will just coil up behind the refrigerator, and that's so if we need to pull the refrigerator out, this can extend. That's also the reason why I guess it's not a good idea to just go with 1/4 inch copper line for this, because pulling the fridge out can kink it. There's also steel weave sleeved versions of this cable that you can get in preset lengths that already have the threaded ends on there, which is convenient if you don't want to do any of this compression fitting stuff, but those cost like 15 to 20 bucks, and again, $6.50 here. You want a nice clean cut on the end of your tube. It's always convenient when my water cooling equipment comes in handy for non-water cooling stuff. And the tapered end of this sleeve should go towards the fitting. got my bucket here because I want to do a quick leak test, and also by opening this up, hopefully any sediment that might have settled in there is going to go out into here rather than into my refrigerator filter. Ah, that's a lot of pressure. Okay. Now we just do the same thing on the fridge side. And now the moment of truth. It seems to be holding. Now the simulated finished electrical. I tried to work with the coil of the tubing so it'll coil up there behind everything. Day 2, not a whole lot going on today, just some brief updates. First, the water in the refrigerator is still working, so I seem to have done that correctly. And look, now the island is back where the island is supposed to go. It was over there, now it's over here. And I know I didn't go into too much detail for the work that was done here just recently. If you'll permit me, I'm just going to skip that over. I don't really see what utility it would serve anyway. And I know it might seem like I'm speaking in code, but I think it would be a violation of your trust if I were to go any further on that subject. Ooh, look, we also got our faucet. We went with the bold look of Kohler. This is the pint model, and I think you might know what that means. That's right, Hannah. Next up, it's time for countertops. Countertops crew have arrived. They're just putting down some protection on the floor, getting ready. Ooh. Looks like we're gonna have some glue gun action. I have no idea how countertops are installed, but I guess they use little spacers like this? Maybe? I don't know. Look at that, first piece is installed. We are not able to go to the supplier for the countertops, so this is actually our first time looking at them. That's not a picture that was sent to us by the contractor. Fortunately, we're pretty happy. Meanwhile, back in the hallway, dogs are, oh, well, they were sitting peacefully, but now Hero's like, when are you gonna play with me more? Once the countertops are done, big boy. So these wood pieces are not spacers. They use them to make a guide. So they lay them out across wherever and they measure where the sink is going to be and everything. Then they bring that out and put it on the actual slab that they're going to cut so they can mark out exactly where they need to do all the cuts. It's pretty smart. The sink piece has now been set in place. Ooh, look at that. Scene is glued. And look, we have a hole for the faucet now. Faucet hole. Sweet. And here it is, guys. The kitchen is now outfitted with countertops. Aren't they glorious? Aren't they beautiful? Aren't they nice and flat? This is the Calcutta finish, just in case you're wondering. I thought it was really nice how they were able to trim this just so close. There's still a tiny bit of a gap between the stovetop and the edge of the countertop, but not too much at all, and just just flat, even. They only had to do one seam in the entire thing, and that is right over here, and you can really barely even see that. They managed to get that really clean. We now have a properly undermounted sink, which has nice clean edges there, so we can clean the countertop off. We don't have to worry about stuff going underneath the grout or anything like that. I don't know a whole lot about this kind of stuff, but I feel like they did a pretty good job here grouting up the joints and not getting it over onto the countertops themselves or anything. Over here with our supplemental cabinetry, this is an insert for the sink, but we got a little backsplash over here as well, 6-inch backsplash, just to finish that area off, and then we'll have an outlet there too. And now we're like, oh my gosh, it's so close. It's like we have a kitchen, but we now have received the hopefully confirmed final schedule for the last things that need to happen. Next on the list is going to be the tile for the backsplash, which is all down there. Just plain white subway tile. Nice thing about this is all the tile we need, and that should be more than enough, was only about 45 bucks. Minus the grout and installation cost, of course. But just nice, simple ceramic white tile. We're gonna do with the standard subway tile installation method where they're offset by a half a tile each. That's gonna go down here, all the way along here, up to I think about there across the window. And that should be installed tomorrow, which is Friday. It's Thursday now, so Friday, backsplash, and then Monday, final appliances, plumbing, and electrical. I think there might be a few little things after that, but we now have one last weekend where we don't really have a kitchen. We're a lot closer to having a kitchen, but one more weekend without one. That said, I'm gonna show you the backsplash installation next, and in the meantime, I'm gonna keep watching Hannah. What are you doing down there, Hannah? You're looking cute, as usual. These lower 3 rows seem to go in pretty quickly, but then it's this upper part that takes a bit more time, I think, because there's a lot more of these precision cuts that need to be made for the outlets. Another choice we had to make was for the edge here. There's a little bit of like metal flashing or something like that they can put along here, but we don't really like the look of that, so we're just going with the edge of the tile. A little bit of paint on there to hide the unfinished part. And then when these tiles are cut, they naturally have sort of a finished edge here, a little bit of a bevel on there. So we had to decide when they cut them in half, do they put that cut half on the inside here or on the outside? We opted to put the cut half on the inside. It doesn't really stand out that much to us compared to like a standard joint between two of them. And I think that gives it a little bit cleaner finish on this side. And now we have backsplash. At least the tiles are all there. The grout is not. The mortar that's holding all these tiles in place needs to set overnight, and then Miguel and crew will be coming back tomorrow to give us some grout. We think we're gonna go with a light gray. Since Miguel is also gonna be doing a lot of the appliances, he said he might be able to do some of that stuff tomorrow too. Fingers are crossed. We're not trying to get our hopes up too much. Man, a kitchen sink would be really, really nice to have. It is Monday morning now. I think it's week 7 or week 8 since the demolition. I don't know, I've completely lost track. Today is really exciting though. Today is super exciting because Miguel and Leo are coming back, as well as Hubert and Alex to do finished plumbing, finished electrical, and install appliances. That means, fingers crossed of course, but by the end of today we should have a working sink, perhaps even a dishwasher, like oven and a stove that work. I don't know if they're gonna get to the installation of the hood or if they're gonna be able to finish that today. There is still some work on the agenda for this week, some finished touch-up paint and stuff like that as well. But according to our contractor, most of the major stuff should be finished today, and that also includes the grout for the backsplash. I am supposed to be watching Hannah today, but I'm going to be also out here doing my best to help out where I can, because we've put some stuff in different places, so I'm gonna need to move the couch and move some of this other stuff so they can get at areas back here that need outlets and wall plates and other stuff like that installed. Oh, and it's raining yet again. It's just a structuring motif for my remodel series. Some grout happening. The color we chose is called platinum. sounds very fancy. Ooh, a faucet. Does look nice. It matches pretty well too. Bit of surgery going on with the dishwasher. And also down here we now have a hole. A hole for where the dishwasher, the drainage, and the electrical. That's important. Lights. There are lights in the ceiling. Very bright, very beautiful. Poor dishwasher over here. Really having a tough time getting up and going, but it's okay. Hey, look, it's a kitchen. All right, so we're not quite finished. We still need the hood, so that's gonna go in tomorrow. And there's a few final touch-up things still to happen, so this isn't quite the final reveal. Right now, we have a functional sink, dishwasher. We are told we can't quite use the oven and stove yet. That'll hopefully be finished off and ready tomorrow. But no more extension cord going over to the refrigerator. All of the electrical is finished. So we got outlets all along there, various places. We even got one down here on the island. Got some pendant lights that we just picked up today. There's a couple holes up there kind of indicating where the hood will actually go. Switches are working now, so we got that switch to turn pendant lights on and off. This switch over here, oh, for the garbage disposal. Look at the sink. This is a sink. This is known as a faucet. Faucets have handles, and when you operate the handle, water comes out. Look at that. Then it goes down the drain and goes off somewhere else, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. That's how a sink should work. Properly express how happy we are that this is now functional and everything. But hey, look at this. 15 years I've gone without a dishwasher, and now we have one yet again. Look, the controls are all along the top here. We need to do a little peel job on this, I think. This is one where they put the plastic on before they assemble the thing, so it wraps around and goes like into seams and stuff like that. It's so shiny. Removing this handle because it's impeding the peelability of this. Our first load of dishes. Most of these are relatively clean. They've just been outside. How the heck do you operate this thing? They're not quite Tide Pods, but they look equally delicious. Last time I had a dishwasher, or used one, you pour like powder or something in here. Now I got these little pods. Something called rinse aid we had to fill in there. Okay. It is the next morning. I'm happy to say that our first run with the dishwasher was successful. Dishes were clean, and again, just having a sink again is really cool. Now there's still some work to be done today, and I feel like we're moving on to finishing touches. So like all these vents and stuff that were up on the walls where we have ventilation coming in from the heating and cooling are gonna get replaced. And then of course, the hood. And there it is, you guys. The hood is installed, and with that, like, it's done. We're pretty much done. They are gonna come back, the cabinet guys are gonna come back to do some like really small touch-up things here and there. And then of course we have started to like move stuff back in. There's a lot of stuff we need to wash here before we can stash it in the cupboards, and we do have slightly less cupboard space now than before, so we're gonna need to get a little creative with where we put stuff. Some stuff we're probably just gonna donate and everything. I've been re-putting back all of our magnets on the refrigerator the way they should be. Great to not have an extension cord here on the floor anymore, and the dishwasher is awesome, and the sink is awesome. And look, we even got plant over there, some plant to put some contrast there from the white and silver everywhere. So guys, that is gonna do it for this video, for this vlog, for the coverage of the installation of the remodel stuff. I think though, because we're still under quarantine here and because I need to continue making videos, I think I'm gonna keep up the weekly vlog just of things that are still going on, because we still have a bunch of cleanup and stuff to do with things that are over here. We need to put the dining room table back where it's supposed to be and put all the silverware and stuff away. We're slowly disassembling the mini kitchen area that we made over here. Now that we finally have plugs in the various outlets and everything, we have the capability of putting the TV back and starting to get the home theater area set up once again. But I will be covering that in, I guess, next week's vlog of like post remodel recovery. Also, since we went from the kitchen being finished to moving stuff back in, we never got sort of those final sexy shots like I like to get when I finish doing a system build or something like that. So once we get some dishes put away and we get it kind of set up and we're like, all right, here's the way we want it to be, maybe a curtain put in too, I think I'll show that. And then I'm wondering if you guys are interested, and let me know in the comment section down below. I have all these time lapses I've been making of everything the whole time. Should I take all the time lapses and put them together in like a, I don't know, somewhere between 5 to 10 minute just supercut of the entire renovation from start to finish? Let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing that. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, of course. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and we will see you in the next video.